What's up, guys, and welcome back to Need for Speed Heat. Today we are going to be hopping behind the wheel of a bit of a German legend here. This, my friends, is a 2010 BMW M3. Now here's the deal. This isn't just any M3, alright? This is an E92 M3. So obviously the BMW M3 has been a big deal for a very, very long time, even up through today. It is one of the most capable sports cars out there. It's a fantastic car. It's got speed, it's got handling, it's got pretty much everything you need in a package that isn't outrageously expensive. No, it's not a supercar or anything like that, but it's just a really well put together sports car. And at some point back in the early 2010s, I think it may have started back in like 2008 possibly, but I think it went up through like 2013 or 2014. They did have a few years where they made a V8 M3. Up until that point, I think it started as a V4, then they went to V6. We're kind of beating this thing up, but nowadays, I think it's a twin-turbo 6-cylinder. But yeah, at one point, it was a naturally aspirated V8, and a lot of enthusiasts kind of look back on that as kind of the golden years of the M3. So I'm excited to see what this thing can do today. Obviously there is a beautiful sound that we've got going on here. We are going to go ahead and fix this thing up a little bit. I think we're going to leave the engine in there because that's kind of what makes this car special, but we're going to give it new parts. We're going to give it new tires and all kinds of stuff like that, and it's a 7 out of 10 customization, so we should be able to make it look pretty cool. So from a performance standpoint, you guys can see our stock engine is going to be a 414 horsepower 4-liter V8. So yes, in fact, this thing is the E92, and we're going to improve upon it, but we're not going to go too crazy. So I'm going to come in here. We're going to go for Ultimate Plus, crankshafts and ECUs and everything like that. But we are not going to touch the air induction system. We're just going to leave it naturally aspirated. We're not going to add a supercharger or anything like that. I guess we can add in some nitrous, so we're going to change the chassis and everything else. But like I said, I want to keep this thing stock because it is a bit of a legend. So after all that, we are going to be able to get this thing to a level 313, which isn't bad. We're up to 720 horsepower in that naturally aspirated V8. That's insane. 0 to 60 in 2.8. Torque of 491, top speed of 215. So it's definitely not the fastest car in our stable, but it is going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be pretty beautiful, and I can't wait to see what we can do. Now for paints and wraps, I've kind of got my mind set here. I guess we can go through and I'll see what options we have. I mean, this is kind of interesting. We've got the M3 GTR look on there, but I'm thinking we're either going to go with all white, or we could potentially go with a little bit more of like a Nardo gray. So I like that he blacked out the hood there. If we were gonna go with the Nardo gray, that might not be a bad idea. I'm not seeing any Nardo gray in here. I don't know, I feel like the all white is definitely super, super beautiful. Ooh, look at that. We've got a diagonal BMW stripe over the car. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, I feel like the white's beautiful. We do make a fair amount of white cars in this game though. I'm kind of thinking maybe we go with the Nardo gray. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna choose that guy that had the blacked out hood, and then we're gonna turn that into Nardo gray. A matte Nardo gray could be kind of interesting. So I feel like we're kind of there, maybe a little bit darker. I'm gonna put it at 40 just to keep it nice and even. But yeah, this is gonna look pretty good, especially once we get a wide body kit on there and stuff, and we start adding a few details here and there. I think this is gonna turn out pretty well. So let's start off with the front of the car here. We've got a Vorsteiner kit, second Vorsteiner kit, third and fourth Vorsteiner kits. We've got some very different options here. I kind of like that last one. We've got a BMW kit, or there's a straight up Vorsteiner set. I'm gonna see. Let's see what these fenders look like. So we've got Liberty Walk. We've got BMW, we've got Vorsteiner, or we've got Duke Dynamics. Ooh, the Duke Dynamics actually looks pretty good. The Liberty Walk I'm tempted by, but I'm going to go with Duke Dynamics here. I like the look of that. All right, that looks solid. We've got a Duke Dynamics side skirt or the Vorsteiner one. I guess we'll keep this uniform all the way through, and then we're going to go with the Duke Dynamics rear end as well. Shoot, dude, the thing is that the Liberty Walk actually does look pretty good. See, like, that looks super solid right there. Hold on, what if we went with the Duke Dynamics up front and the Liberty Walk in the back? Would that look stupid? What's the Duke Dynamics rear bumper gonna look like? All right, that looks a little bit better. I guess I guess that makes sense. I can rock with that. So we're going to put the Duke Dynamics side skirts on there. All right, we just didn't see the full picture yet, but it definitely does, it looks pretty solid there. So let's see a diffuser. We've got some carbon diffusers that we can throw on here. I'm going to say let's just go with the big one. Why not? Looks good to me. Definitely going to change up the license plate when we get a chance, but not in a rush right now. We've got some smoked out taillights. We can change the trunk lid to a Vorsteiner trunk lid. Kind of interesting. Let me see what we've got for spoilers. We've got a Liberty Walk. That's the Duke Dynamics. Okay. Some interesting options. Can we put the Vorsteiner trunk lid with the Liberty Walk wing? No, we're not going to be able to do that. I feel like I like the look of the traditional M3 there. So do we want a little ducktail? I feel like it actually looks pretty good on this thing. I'm going to go for it. Rarely do cars look super good with the ducktail, but I feel like with the build that we're going for here, that looks pretty solid. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the stock mirrors. Guess we haven't changed the hood. We can put a Vorsteiner hood in there. Go ahead and throw that bad boy on there. We can change up our grill a little bit. Definitely gonna black that out. I really like how this thing is coming out, dude. I really like it. I'm gonna leave the headlights. Do we have like a gray? I just feel like the dark smoke is a little bit too much. Can't put any canards on there. All right, I feel like overall this thing is looking pretty solid. Let's see what we can do out of the rear here. I'm gonna go with the really big crazy ones. All right, let's see what we can do with rims. Now I know you guys don't like when I put black rims on pretty much everything, but I do feel like black rims are gonna complement this thing the most with the build that we're going for. Bam! What do you guys think? Oh, I love how it turned out, dude. This thing is so mean. It's so stealthy. I like the gray. You know, obviously we could have gone white here. It would have looked really good, but I like the gray. We've got the yellow calipers on here, so I think I am going to turn it into a yellow license plate. We haven't done that yet. But overall, this thing looks pretty solid. I think I am going to take that rear diffuser off. I just feel like, I guess we can leave it. I'm going to take it off. I feel like we always put a diffuser on, so I'm going to take that off. I don't think it's necessary, but yeah, this thing turned out super cool. I like it a lot, and we're going to have to see how she drives. Dude, this thing turned out so good, and it sounds so mean, man. Here we go. So we've got a little time trial to start things off. We are severely under leveled. This guy's in a Porsche 918, I think, or I don't even, if you want to be honest, I don't even know what that thing is. There's no way we're going to beat it. I just wanted a reason to kind of do some turns and mess around a bit and see what this thing was made of. Haven't really driven it yet. She looks gorgeous in the garage, but obviously there's more to it than that. But yeah, dude, I mean, it sounds good. We actually, I didn't touch the exhaust note at all. Like I said, I mean, the reason why this car is in this game, the reason why it's significant is because it was that V8 M3. So I wanted to keep it as true to you know, history as possible, but it feels pretty good. It's definitely not our fastest car. It's definitely not our most exciting car. That guy is so far in front of us. It sounds like a fake, like, futuristic space vehicle or something, whatever he's driving. But yeah, it's still, it looks good, and I'm excited to see what it can do against actual competition that it's meant for. You guys can see we went for the yellow accents here. I was kind of tempted to go for red. I feel like we always go for like red and white cars or red and black cars, though. It's just like it's naturally the easy thing to do. Your taillights are always going to be red, so that's always going to match. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. I feel like the yellow calipers really kind of set this thing off. We're gonna focus on where we're going though. So anyway, I'm gonna see you guys once we get in a race. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to get a feel for this thing. It actually, it feels pretty good, man. It feels like we've got some pretty solid control here. It's got a decent amount of speed, but its cornering is actually better than expected. So what's crazy is that this car is, at this point, 10 years old, or honestly a little bit more than that. These things went into production in 2008, I believe. So, I mean, like, by most standards, that's a pretty old car. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to think about how fast time is going and the fact that we're currently in 2020 right now. Like, it's kind of hard to keep up with, but that is a pretty old car. But when you look at this thing, like, even if you take off the body kit, it's just a good-looking vehicle. Like, I feel like this is one of those cars that's going to stand the test of time. it's always going to look good. It's always going to look classy. You know, obviously trends change and stuff like that. Some things come into style, some things go out of style. But I feel like this is just like, it's a good looking automobile. I don't think it's ever not going to be a good looking automobile. So I feel like that's definitely a plus about these things. I can't imagine that you're ever going to lose money on one of these guys. You know what I mean? I would think that their value is going to keep going up. But here we go. Let's see what we can do in an actual race against actual drivers that are actually more of our level. They're still a little over leveled. I think these guys are 320s and we're at 313. You guys can see we are racing the AMG GTs and the Huracans and stuff, which is a bit above our pay grade, but we're going to be able to make it happen with a little finesse, I think. We'll see what we can do. We've got a 3-lap circuit race here off the bat. Oh, dude, look how smooth that was. Let's keep pushing through here, go wide so we can hit that apex. Oof. We're okay. We're going to be fine. That kind of hurt a little bit. I guess we can't take it that wide because we kind of run into those barricades that really slow us down. But look at this, dude. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Lime green Lambo? Nah, fam. It's all about the Nardo gray Beamer. Woo! Dude, that Nardo gray is just, it's such a beautiful color. I don't know why I like it so much. Like when I see it on R8s and stuff like that, it just, I don't know, man. It's interesting. Obviously, typically going for something like one of these lime greens on a supercar or a sports car would be something cool. It grabs your attention. You know, Lambos are yellow, Ferraris are red, that sort of thing. But the Nardo gray, it does something for me. And obviously, it really looks good with all those carbon fiber accents and stuff. Got the carbon fiber wheels on there. So, I feel like we put together a little low-key beauty here, you know what I mean? It's not begging too hard for attention, it just looks good. And it knows it looks good. It's got that confidence, so. Looks like we are, pending any monumental mess-ups, gonna be able to finish this thing out. Let's see if we can get a clean turn on this for our last turn. Woo! Yes, sir! That's how we do it. I love that when we ramp over this bridge, we get like 2 inches off the ground over the entire top part. And we just like stay barely above it and follow the whole thing down to the bottom. It's super clean. So anyway, there you guys have it. Beautiful race. I love what I'm seeing so far. But let's take this thing into the nighttime and see what she looks like. Top thrill, baby. Here we go. Let's see if we can end this thing with a bang. Dude, this thing looks so clean. Ugh. Spit some flames for him. Looking pretty good. Not too shabby, but here we go. Let's get it, boys. So this one's gonna be a bit different. That last one was, you know, we had a couple of straights, but it was mainly corners and stuff. This one's gonna have corners for sure, but it's gonna have more straights. So we're gonna see what that Beamer speed is all about. Let's get after it, man. Here we go. Woo. Off to a pretty good start so far, dude. This thing just feels solid, honestly. It just feels really good in pretty much all the situations that we put it in. I mean, really, it's not the fastest, but it is getting it done. Like that last race we were racing against, like I said, they were a few levels ahead of us. I think we're a couple more levels ahead of us now in this one. But there's just, it's so smooth and calculated in what it does that I feel like these guys can't really keep up. I guess, oh shoot. Kind of cut that corner a little bit close. It slowed us down. We're going to get past here. Shoot, my bad. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the cops. I was just going to say, I guess we'll see what happens with the cops, though, because we definitely, we are not very quick in a general sense. Like, I don't think we're really going to be pulling ahead of the cops like we can with some of our other vehicles, so that's something to be a little more concerned about. But so far, it seems like things are pretty low-key in terms of police presence. What the heck just happened right there? Light poles coming out of nowhere. I don't know what this Lambo's doing, but he's knocking on the door, man. We're gonna be careful. Just love that sound. It honestly, like, it's kind of got little hints of that M3 GTR sound. You guys remember that? If you didn't catch that episode, it was one of the first ones we did after beating the campaign, and it is one of the most glorious sounds I've ever heard come out of an automobile. And this is kind of like the baby version of that. Kind of sounds like it a little bit, but doesn't quite capture the imagination like the GTR does. So here we go, boys. Moving on to lap number 3, the final lap. And like I said, there are really no cops out to play today, so not as exciting as it could have been, but I guess you can call that a good thing. Here we go. Finally starting to get a little bit of action, baby. Let's see what we can do. We've got 500 yards remaining on the race, and let's see what these cops are up to, man. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this thing in reverse, but then we're gonna go mess around with them a little bit.
The scanner's blowing up here. Someone's on a mission to piss off the cops.
Gotta mess around a bit, see if we can take a few of these boys out. What's up, fellas? Woo, we're up to a heat 3. We should start getting a few more guys out here chasing us, and we're gonna see if we can kind of finesse our way out of a pretty serious situation here in the M3. The thing is, we have so much control. Like, these guys, they're gonna be all over the place, man. But we're gonna be casually drifting into every corner, just smooth as can be. Oh look, there's one coming this way. We're just gonna go ahead and slide right onto these DMs over here. Yeah, dude, we don't have the speed here. I guess when we save up our nitruses, we kind of get a little bit of speed, but these guys are keeping up with us pretty easily. This is not ideal. Bang a left. Woo! See, these guys can't keep up with us in the corners, but the straights are where they kind of make their money. These guys are all over the place on these corners. Oh man. All right, we're gonna look for some sort of a ramp. I think there's a ramp. I know there's water over here. Where's the ramp though? I know there's a ramp over here. There's one right there, and then there's a little bridge over here. Might be able to do a little 2-for-1. I'm gonna hit him this way, and then we're gonna flip it in this intersection. Woo! He wasn't ready. We got quite a few of them back this way, but we're gonna be okay. They're calling reinforcements. Don't hit them. We're good. Hop back over here. See ya, cops. Wouldn't want to be ya. That's how we do it, baby. Oh man. Alright, so that was kind of fun. You know, a little bit lower speed than what we're traditionally used to, but still pretty fun. It sounded good, it looked good, and it led to a pretty exciting episode. So hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know which vehicle you guys want to see next. Honestly, that Porsche 918 we saw in that the very first challenge we did today, that thing looked pretty gnarly. I'm kind of tempted to try one of those, but I'm going to see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.
Terminating the pursuit, you guys got it.